Now we're going to talk about the legs. And like I said before, the legs are crucially important along with the wrist snap. You see a lot of young ladies that do not use their legs correctly, and they don't understand timing the lower body with the upper body, and we're definitely going to talk about that. So what I'll do is I'll talk about from release, and then we'll come all the way around and talk about it all the way through the pitch. Okay, so at release, you want to make sure that when you plant this front leg, that your plant is at a 45-degree angle. And if you're on the dirt, you can really get good feedback on what your young pitchers are doing. If you see your young pitcher and she's planting right on this power line, which I've drawn from the middle of the mound all the way straight through home plate, okay, and she's got her cleats on and she's coming out and pitching and she's planting, that front toe will be at a 45-degree angle. If she's not planting correctly and not opening and closing her hips correctly, her plant toe will be straight on to home plate, and that means that she's either not at all opening her hips or she's closing her hips too soon. And it's crucially important. Your pitcher will lose consistency and speed if she's not using her hips correctly. Like I was saying, when you plant the front foot, you want to be at a 45-degree angle. If you've planted straight, that means your hips are closed. Another way to look at the mound and see what your hips are doing is by looking at your drag. If you have a pitcher that drags on the top of her toe and she's wearing out the top of her cleat, a lot of times that means that she's either not pivoting her hips open or she's closing too soon and dragging straight through and the hips are closed. We don't want to be in this position at release. We want to be in this position. So her drag should be on the front lower part of her cleat, okay? So you're planted, 45-degree angle on my power line, and my arms that plant, okay, are going to be in the X position. And this is very important. And see, I'm in a balanced athletic position. There are a bunch of drills that you can do, and we'll refer to them to see if your pitcher is getting in the proper position at plant, and this is crucial, okay? You want to make sure that she's getting into the X, okay, 45-degree angle, open, and you're balanced, okay? From this position, you want to drag and release. So your drag is you're gonna let the arm come through into the hip, and you're dragging at the same time. So what you're doing is, after you've come out and you've gotten this front leg down and you've timed your lower body with your upper body, okay, and this is, a lot of you girls will not be doing this, so pay attention to this. You're coming out, you plant, now my lower body and my upper body are timed well together. I'm going to drive all this energy back here into this front leg. This front leg is my resistance. You need to have the resistance to get the speed to generate. So you're here and you're going to drive, drag, snap, release, finish, okay? So I come out, plant. I'm in a good position, okay? I'm then going to get this arm in here, and here my arm is now got my fanny and my leg behind the release, okay? So instead of having the legs come first and the arm dragging, you've got it in here, and then it all drives through the stiff front leg, and you drag to the 4, okay? So if you're looking at me front on, you're going to come to a 4 almost, okay? And then you're going to release and come through, okay? So crucial is to know that the arm comes in front of the hip at release, not at the same time or not behind, okay? And the leg and the butt get behind the arm, you snap, release, and finish, okay? In a nice balanced position. I have a lot of kids who say, but I have to get in position to field the ball. And my theory on that is you never want to give up your pitch in an effort to field the ball. You will be able to field the ball. And if you have a problem with that, then you should get on the sideline, pitch the ball, and have somebody hit you ground balls so you can work on your reflexes or your speed or whatever it may be. But don't ever compromise your pitch or your release or your finish to field the ball. Just as if you wouldn't compromise your swing or your finish to run to first base. You always want to swing through everything, pitch through everything. It's very important, and that happens a lot with young kids. So let's revisit this. Remember, plant to the 45, arms are at the X. The front leg, you're going to get that down and you're going to drive through it. You're going to keep that arm in tight, snap and drag at the same time, and this drag will help keep this hip out of the way if you're dragging correctly. If you're dragging incorrectly, what's going to happen is this shoulder opens and you start to rotate and pivot and the hip gets in the way, okay? And you stay right on here, finish.